College football is back, folks. Tennessee and NC State tonight, a nice little appetizer. In the round of 64, 7 teams seeded 11th or lower advanced, causing chaos, and had most of us doing this, crumbling up those brackets and throwing them away. They're taking their talents to South Beach. Alabama came back from behind against Georgia. Certainly a very difficult way for Southside Selma to end their season, but as they say in sports, there's always next year. It was day 4 of the SEC tournament, and the big question was, could the Crimson Tide keep it rolling? Most of you know the old proverb, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Well, if you're a really good teacher, he just might wind up on the Bassmasters Tour, which stops in Montgomery this weekend. It was an unusually calm day at Talladega. That was until the finish. Football was back at least for a day as the White took down the Crimson. We're just getting started here. Plenty more great high school hoops action. William Olsey is different from any high school athlete you'll come across.
He's not human. I mean, the stuff he does is literally ridiculous.
The St. James shortstop and leadoff man is enjoying his senior season because he knows how easily it can be taken away. Olsey suffered a major injury the summer before his junior season, which would require Tommy John surgery.
I was very emotional when I found that out because I knew I wasn't going to be able to play football. And also, at the time, I didn't think I was going to be able to play baseball.
The surgery typically takes 9 to 12 months of recovery time. Olsey was back on the baseball diamond just 5 months later. How?
It's real simple. Work ethic. I've been doing this 26 years. I have dealt with some of the better high school and collegiate athletes that have come out of Central Alabama. No one has ever worked as hard as William Olsey.
The speedy recovery had him back for baseball season when devastation struck again just a few weeks later.
I was running down first, and it was an overthrow, and I planted to try and go to second base, and that's where my knee just went out. And I found out shortly after the game that I tore my ACL.
Oh, I was torn to pieces. I know he was heartbroken. You know, the kid he loves the game so much. And when he went down, it killed me just as much as it did him.
Olsey was down, but again not defeated. He went back to rehab and recovered from the ACL surgery in just 6 months, just in time for his senior football season. Now completely healthy for baseball season, Olsey is hitting over 400 for the Trojans, and he's not taking one pitch for granted.
It's given me a better outlook on things. Before, I was the person, I didn't really take each game into consideration. I played it hard, but now I take every game like it really is my last one.
Olsey has generated some interest from some local schools and some junior colleges. He says as long as he's playing baseball next year, he'll be happy. Reporting from St. James School in Montgomery, I'm Brian Penner. Now back to you. Following the recruitment of Auburn High's Reuben Foster has been like watching a reality television show with different twists and turns every week. But that show finally came to an end today when Foster signed his letter of intent to play college football at Alabama.
I will be attending the University of Alabama.
With that, highly coveted linebacker Reuben Foster recommitted to Alabama on national TV only after being an Auburn commit for several months with a tattoo on his arm to prove it. Originally a Bama commit, Foster finally ended a wild ride by signing with the Tide.
I went back and forth. Like people say that I really didn't want to go to Alabama, but in my heart I really did. No disrespect to Auburn or Georgia. Yeah, I did want to go there, but it wasn't where my heart was at. My mind was confused, but my heart was set on Alabama.
Foster came under criticism for his seesawing back and forth, but his coach says it was a difficult process.
You know, it's been pretty tough on him. He's had 80 or 90 calls a day, text messages, blowing his Facebook up. So hopefully he can settle down and finish his high school career.
The linebacker who runs like a gazelle and hits like a Mack truck is just glad the long process is finally over.
It felt great, man, just to get that stress off my shoulders and just tell the world that I'm going to the University of Alabama.
Now Foster is hardly the first player to switch his motto from War Eagle to Roll Tide. He joins players like TJ Yeldon, Brent Callaway, and Cyrus Quanjo as guys who switched from the Tigers to the Tide. Reporting from Auburn, I'm Brian Penner, Alabama Newsnet. Good evening, I'm Brian Penner. The countdown to the national championship almost to single-digit days as Alabama continues its quest for a third crystal ball in 4 years. And preparation has really intensified this week as Alabama begins focusing more on Notre Dame and their specific schemes. The Tide continue to be without starting center Barrett Jones, who missed practice again with a sprained foot. Nick Saban says with or without Jones, the Tide have their hands full with the Fighting Irish.
Offensively, they're really for our offense because their defense is a really good front seven, and they've played very effectively all year long, especially in the red zone on the goal line. Having the additional prep time is probably a good thing.
How about some high school hoops? A great matchup as Carver's hosting Lee. Lee would score her first here off the inbounds play. Wilson goes up and gets it in, and Lee actually had the early momentum. This time they're going to go to Wilson in the corner, 3-ball. Got it, and Lee was off to a nice start, but Carver, just too much talent. Jeremy Johnson inside finds Demetrius Houston. In Houston, we have liftoff. Nice dunk there. Later, more Carver. This time, Johnson is going to catch it on the wing, and he would bury the 3. Carver would go on to win. They improved to 7-0. More hoops at Otagoville PCA in the Capital City Christmas Tournament. We begin with a thrilling end. Otagoville up 1 with less than 30 seconds left. PCA's Adam Roberson misses a deep 3, but a great rebound by Jake Newcomb. He goes up and is fouled, and the kid had ice water in his veins. He made both free throws, so PCA up 1 as you see the scoreboard. Otagoville drawing up one final play with 10 seconds left. Here it is, Devontae Wells driving the ball down the middle. He gets blocked, but look, the ball comes right back to him, and at the buzzer, it goes. Otagoville, a stunner, nice, thrilling win for them, 57-56. Great game, heartbreak for PC. How about some girls hoops? Packed house as Carver's facing Selma. Sold out crowd. Diamond Glover here with the jewel of a pass to Tatiana Calhoun, who lays it in. Carver up big at that point. Later, it's going to be Kiana Thompson who takes it down the lane and lays it off the window for the 2. Carver pouring it on. A little bit later, Pamela Allen with the rebound and the putback. She had a nice game as well. It was all Carver in this one. Lady Wolverines double up Selma 64-32. And that's a look at your sports. More news coming up next.